Getting down to the final stretch of the regular season, the top four in the Big Ten standings. Nebraska just percentage points below Purdue because of the head-to-head. Four teams trying to earn that triple bye in the Big Ten tournament. Big Ten basketball sponsored by Venmo. Another packed house at Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln as the number 7 Nebraska Cornhuskers play host to the Northwestern Wildcats. Hi, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day with Jordan Taylor. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks so much for being with us today. And Jordan, listen, we looked at the standing just a moment ago, and Nebraska is still with a legitimate shot to finish at number 1 in the conference.
Yeah, when you look at their schedule, they're 2 games behind, don't have the tiebreaker, of course, they're really 3. But if it exists, the most favorable schedule in the Big Ten. So you got to go to Iowa. They got to do a better job at rebounding the ball, but Rink Mass is starting to feel like Rink Mass again. 22 over his last 2. Braden Frager getting healthy.
Take a look at our starting lineups. They're sponsored by Venmo, and we talk a lot about Rink Mast, of course. But how about Sam Hoiberg? Really an unsung hero for Nebraska.
Yeah, Sam Hoiberg is averaging 12, 6, and 5 over his last 5. He is the glue guy for this team, does all the little things for him. And on the other side, it's Trey Singleton. He had a fantastic game rebounding the basketball against Michigan. He'll have to do the same to have a chance, for Northwestern to have a chance against Nebraska today.
Everybody on their feet, mostly in red and in white on this Valentine's Day in Lincoln, Nebraska. Singleton wins the tip, and Northwestern's offense goes to work early. Had a great first half against Michigan, trying to put 40 full minutes together.
And they came out with a tremendous energy, but they also executed, did their best on the glass against Michigan. Kind of even with them, but today they got to keep the ball in the middle of the floor, not right there.
Singleton's got it. And now underneath, and a turnover on the first possession of the game.
When you put it on that side in that outer third of the court, Nebraska's going to load up against you. They do it against everybody. Northwestern doesn't necessarily have the playmakers to withstand that.
Rink Mass going to work against Singleton. Tough shot. West knocks it out of bounds. It'll stay with Nebraska. Chris Collins, 13th season in Evanston, looking for the first AP Top 10 road win since 2022. That was when they went out to East Lansing and knocked off Michigan State. 20 seconds on that shot clock, and I think they're going to even burn some more time because that shot from Mast never caught any of the rim. The shot clock had reset, so officials over there making sure the clock is correct. Nebraska got off to a tough start last time out against Purdue, but I mean a feverish comeback in that second half and forcing overtime against the Boilermakers.
Yeah, well, offensively, Braden Smith gives them a challenge that not a lot of guys do. The way he can stretch the floor out. You talk about playing in the middle and take away, force them into heavy rotations. Did a great job adjusting, though.
Buchton Jill underneath, and a miss from Berke. Jake West, since being inserted into the starting lineup, has done a great job for Northwestern. One of the youngest teams in the country, Northwestern, starting 3 freshmen. Go down low to the veteran Martinelli. Draws a crowd, hands all over the place, and the Huskers come away with it.
2 turnovers to start, playing on that baseline. Nebraska, is going to load up. Northwestern started with 4 turnovers against Michigan, too. Can't have that to have a chance today.
The bodies falling all over the place on this Valentine's Day as the basketball will stay with Nebraska after the tie-up. As Fred Hoiberg in year number 7, 3 straight 20-plus win seasons. He's got 21 so far this year. The program record is 26. Needs to win 5 of the next 7. 6 games to go after today, including a couple against Iowa.
I think they're in good shape to break that one. Looking pretty strong. Again, no slouches in the Big Ten.
Lawrence fires from 3. In and out. Singleton rips the rebound down. He's been much better in that department over the last couple of weeks. Reed and an offensive foul. Reed pushed off. 3 straight turnovers to start this game for Northwestern.
Yeah, but that one you'll live with because you got to get out in transition. Northwestern, a much better transition team this year, more opportunistic, and that's where you can get Nebraska before that defense is set. I don't necessarily love that call. Tough one for Reed. Got to keep going, though.
Reed coming off a game where he had 20 against Michigan. Sanford for three. Got it.
And confetti goes up right there. Rick Mass is always going to be a problem on that block. Trey Singleton, the freshman, though, can't get caught on the inside of that pin in from Buktingel. Great job by the Turkish guy.
Crop just inside the three-point line, knocks down the jumper. Tyler Crop started the last 8 games for Northwestern.
That's where you got to play if you're Northwestern. Right in the middle of that floor, pocket pass. That'll be open all day. Crop coming into his own, as well as Jake West and some of these other young guys for Northwestern.
Sanford again, the catch and shoot rattles home.
And talk about the freshman right on cue. Trey Singleton gotten lost a couple times. That is the one guy. There's a lot of guys, but especially him on this Nebraska roster you cannot lose.
Nice pass, Martinelli on the inside. And Berke Buktingel altered the shot. Sanford again. And a heat check. Sanford 2 for 3. He's all smiles. It's all right.
And watch Trey Singleton right here. Eyes on the ball. Cannot have your eyes only on the ball with Bryce Sanford. He's been doing this a while now. Gets it from his brother. You lose him for a second. That's all he needs. Only 31% for Bryce Sanford in the half court, but you give him space like that, that's as good as a layup.
Martinelli tries his hand at a 3 off the back of the iron.
Martinelli's been struggling these past 3 games. So many minutes, so much pressure on his back. He can find his rhythm here today.
Paint touch and isolation for Buktingel. Sanford underneath, tough shot.
What you have to do to Bryce Sanford, make it tough, play him physical, force him to the rim. Don't help up, help when he gets to the rim, force a tough finish.
Crop with a mismatch against Hoiberg. Open look for 3, West, short. Tapped over to Rick Mast.
You're Chris Collins, you don't hate these last couple of possessions. Balls touching the paint, middle of the floor, spraying out. You got to make some shots. That's just some of this youth and skill that is still growing for the Wildcats.
Mast with a massive mismatch. They go underneath. Hoiberg fouled. He will go to the line. Well, slow start for both teams. 6-2 as our first timeout reaches Lincoln. Keys to the game sponsored by Kay Jewelers. And certainly for Northwestern, trying to get the ball into the middle of the floor. We've seen that at times for Northwestern. You're going to have to be very consistent. But for you, 2 early fouls against Jaden Reed. That is massive for Northwestern.
That's huge, especially coming off a big game against Michigan first half, where he really carried the Wildcats from a pace and energy standpoint offensively. But you go to Jordan Clayton, who is a gamer, physical defender, and that will be at a premium here today in Lincoln.
Arrington Page also off the bench. And Angelo Cheravino checking in for Northwestern. Started just 1 for their first 4 from the floor. Nebraska 2 for 7, both their buckets. Sanford 3s. Page has it, draws a crowd. Cheravino whipping it around. Martinelli, floater, no good. Page with the follow.
Great side-to-side ball movement. Started with Jake West when they had the high-low flashed. Berke fell asleep. You end up with it in the corner. Jordan Clayton keeps his wits about him. Finds Martinelli.
Out of bounds off of Nebraska. It's a Northwestern basketball. How about we see those keys to the game? They're brought to you by Kay Jewelers.
Yeah, and for Northwestern, again, keep the ball and attack the middle of the floor. 6 possessions now. 2 of which they've been on the baseline have been turnovers. The other 3 they've gotten good shots when it's in the middle. And on the other side, Nebraska just simple. Rebound the basketball. We know what they can do offensively, defensively. Had some problems here recently, and the only way Northwestern have a chance is to get extra possessions.
Frager checks in. Ball tapped away by Sanford momentarily. Cheravino ball fake. Cheravino drives, right hand, no good. Mast keeps it alive for another rebound. What a pass to keep it in play for Hoiberg. Lawrence hangs, And an offensive foul on Lawrence.
And really similar to that foul against Jaden Reed right there. In transition, heads up the bigger Sheravino. Just a little bit of a chicken wing. That's tough, Jeff. I don't know about that one, but hey, at least it's consistent. That's all you can ask for.
Crowd seeing the replay. They moaned and groaned on this Valentine's Day. 8-4 ball game. Page cross-court pass. Whip it around again. Clayton inside, tapped away by Frager with 4.5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Clayton right there. Started with Page. Great job, even though they put it on the other side. Great pass. He's got the size and the height to see the other side of the floor. Should have came back to him right there. But you see, Jeff, all the deflections that Nebraska gets, they've already got at least 3 or 4 of them. It makes them so good defensively.
Got to get going. Clayton, fall away jumper, draws iron. Hoiberg taps. Page tries to keep it alive. Again, bodies all over the place. Oh, what a possession. You just love the effort from both of these teams early on. Mast going to work on Page. Mast, Martinelli comes in for the dig and throws it away, and a foul on Frager. This is how Northwestern came out against Michigan.
A lot of energy, perfectly timed double team right there from Nick Martinelli. As soon as Page did a great job cutting off the baseline, Mast had his back to the defense, and Martinelli was there when he turned around. Perfectly executed by the Wildcats.
Now can Northwestern start making a couple of shots. Clayton for 3, in and out. He's had a couple clang off the rim.
He is not going to be shy, though. He'll continue to be aggressive and let it fly.
Pass inside, another turnover from Nebraska. These are two teams don't turn it over very much. Martinelli for 3. It's too strong. Sheravino, an offensive rebound. Sheravino in for 2.
There it is right there. Nick Martinelli, 13 of his last 51 coming into this game, but that's a great shot for him. What happens? Angelo Sheravino is 6'7". He can match up with Frager and Sanford.
Another turnover. West in transition. West in for the dunk.
Jake West, oh my, kid out of Philly. A couple games ago, I didn't know he had that bounce, but now you almost expect it. No fear in transition right there.
And we're going to get a whistle away from the basketball. We have seen some interesting angles in which the passes are coming and going from both teams so far. Rink Mass trying to keep this ball in play, and whoop, right behind the back.
You know where everybody is. There it is, Price Sanford right there. Just throw it over the top. Common denominator right there is Rink Mass. Little Harlem Globetrotter action. Bodies hitting the floor.
Well, an 8-8 ball game. Neither team shooting the ball exceptionally well early. Two teams that share the basketball as well as anybody in the country. Assist to turnover ratio. Jacobson trying to create some space. Time winding down. Hoiberg driving and lays it up and in.
Yeah, great job by Burke right there to clear out Arrington Page, and Hoiberg, crafty little finish inside hand. That's what he does so well. Always making something out of nothing.
Tend to shoot. Page driving. Page runs into a pair. Cross court into the corner. 3-ball. West. No good. Tapped out. Singleton trying to battle for it. Sheravino's got it. And then a foul as Sanford ends up on the ground. Excuse me, it's going to go the other way. Northwestern basketball on the other side of this timeout.
Yeah, physical game, big bodies flying, but early on, it's the little fellas playing big. Jake West starting to get a couple of minutes playing above the rim, and then Sam Hoiberg, no stranger right there, getting busy at the rim. Nebraska up early.
Don't miss a Wednesday night hoops triple header as Rutgers faces Penn State. Cats host Maryland, and Illinois takes on USC. Coverage begins with the tip-off show, 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Seeing Nebraska a little loose with the basketball early. 5 turnovers in the first 8.5 minutes.
And Northwestern not known for turning teams over either. Conversely, talk about Northwestern's ability to take care of it, but Nebraska forces turnovers. They don't make them, but Northwestern doing a great job in rotation, showing bodies. Nick Martinelli a couple times covered up a couple of holes, so great start for the Wildcats.
Get it inside. Singleton just inside the free throw line ties it up. That's where Northwestern is going to have success today.
Yeah, inside the paint, but it's the flare screen by Singleton. Get the switch on to Hoiberg. But again, it's Arrington Page delivering the pass. He's done that 3-4 times now since entering the game.
Frager trying to get downhill. Frager fouled. He'll go to the line. Got hammered by Page. Frager heads to the free throw line to shoot a pair.
Arrington Page cannot get in foul trouble, but if you're Coach Collins, this is really what you've been waiting for from him all year long. Being that rim protector inside, causing havoc, being extremely skilled on the offensive side of the ball. Did a great job against Michigan as well, contesting at the rim.
Page will check out. Martinelli checks back in, and Jaden Reed coming back onto the floor with 2 fouls. And Frager missed them both. Crowd thought that Martinelli was out of bounds. Officials were on it.
As they are. Most of the time. Who knew?
They're really good at what they do. As Singleton throws it away. Numbers for Nebraska. And Lawrence will just pull it out and reset. Frager tried to get it to Jacobson. Singleton is there. Reed out in front.
What a mismatch with Martinelli right there.
6 turnovers for Nebraska. They average just over 9 a game. Eight to shoot for the Cats. Reed, jumper. That's good.
Tough, Jaden Reed. Been really good in that mid-range the past couple of games right there. Nick Martinelli looks a little gassy. He's got to catch that ball on the elbow with Lawrence or Hoiberg. You work out of there, ends up all right for the Wildcats, but they're going to switch. He's got to punish them from 17 feet and in.
First lead of the game for Northwestern. Lawrence spinning, finds Buchtengel, kicks it back out. Jacobson with 8 to shoot. Jacobson trying to use the size. The left hand, no good.
Northwestern, you take away those couple times Trey Singleton fell asleep. You got a Sam Hoiberg layup and a couple of free throws. They have been outstanding.
Again, defensively, this is what they looked like against Michigan earlier this week. Can you sustain it for a full 40? Oh, just too tall for Reed, and a turnover for Northwestern.
And Northwestern put it back on the side here, but here it is in the middle. Check Page, check Singleton right here. Middle of the floor. Arrington Page, a great passer, just a quick flare screen. Get Sam Hoiberg because Cale Jacobson runs over the top. Good recognition by the two. Nothing crazy or out of the ordinary, but again, Arrington Page's ability to open up things with his ability to pass and stretch out the defense, and Trey Singleton has size advantages with some of these Cornhuskers.
And that's just a bad pass by Buchtengel. Was trying to find Mass. Sheravino driving, kicks out to Clayton. Now Reed passes up the 3. Reed draws a crowd, and Lawrence comes away out of the fray. Lawrence ahead of everybody and missed the layup, but right there to follow is Sanford.
Jaden Reed ends up with the turnover right there. He turned to his left and he saw Trey Singleton, only a 16% three-point shooter, but you got to trust your young fella there. Just go next. Next pass against this defense.
Sheravino launches from 3, got it.
There you go again, single high ball screen. Martinelli cuts out the side. You leave Sheravino only 22% from 3, but I tell you, if he can make that shot, he can go a long way with this game. Great athlete attacking the rim, great defender.
Sanford catch and shoot, short. Made his first 2, he's missed his last 2. Mismatch with speed. Reed, look at the footwork there. Reed up and under, what a sequence from Jaden Reed.
Okay, Buchtengel is still trying to figure out where the ball is at. Jaden Reed. Ain't nothing over there, big fella. That is tough.
Ankles were left on the 3-point line.
Left a lot on the 3-point line.
Mask running the show. Sanford now off the heel.
Northwestern again. And Price Sanford, outstanding three-point shooter. When you can get to his body and force him into shots like that, percentages go way down. Again, 31% in the half court. That's why right there. Great job by the Wildcats staying connected. Chris Collins beside himself. Northwestern missed an opportunity right there. Can't miss those against Nebraska.
Shervino was looking for a backdoor cut, didn't get it, and looking to see who it's off. It's off of Nebraska, and it's going to stay with Northwestern with 5 on the shot clock. And we'll see if Nebraska is going to challenge this play. Shervino just looked like he threw the ball out of bounds. Fred Hoiberg will challenge this play. We will see the results of this challenge. The other side of this timeout looks like it's going to be Nebraska basketball when we come back. Five-point lead right now for Northwestern on the road. And Jordan, you talked about, by the way, it's going to be Northwestern basketball. The call was overturned. Successful challenge from Nebraska. So for you, the key was get the ball into the middle. Here's a couple of examples of Northwestern having success.
Yeah, and it's because Northwestern's so good with their hands when it's on the outer thirds. And if you get in the middle, you see the no help coming. And if it does come, there's the next pass. First the Crop jumper, then the next to Shervino. Great job by Singleton and Crop and the guard. The quick delivery into that pocket. That's going to be there all game. And you saw with that last turnover, even they did it on the side, but they had an opportunity to get in the pocket. And Chris Collinsworth was incensed with Jaden Reed for not making that play. You end up with the Northwestern turnover. You got to continue to execute against this Nebraska defense, or they will eat you up.
I think I said Northwestern basketball, Nebraska basketball. It's a lot of NUs going on right now. Nebraska, Northwestern.
We knew what you meant.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
We were with you. We were with you.
Mass, deep three, and air ball. And Page swats it against Sanford, and Northwestern comes out of the fray.
Defensive possession, Northwestern. Trey Singleton was guarding Mass. He can switch out when they run those pin downs for Price Sanford and take away that advantage for Nebraska.
10 to shoot for the Wildcats. Martinelli's been quiet so far. Martinelli driving, blocked by Buchtenjel. 3-on-2 into the corner. Sanford transition 3, no good. He's missed his last 4. Offensive rebound by Mass, but he threw it away. 8th turnover for Nebraska. Singleton running the floor, a foul and 1. Singleton with a chance for a 3-point play.
And on that first possession going back, Nick Martinelli had it on the elbow, didn't take his time. Northwestern survives, and here you go again in transition. Trey Singleton, if you are a Wildcat fan, you got to be really excited about what you're seeing from this kid. 6'8", can guard a lot of positions, can get in transition, finish through contact. He gets that jumper going, similar to Shervino. They got a lot of size, a lot of talent on that wing spot.
73% from the free throw line, knocks it through. It's an 8-point lead for Northwestern. 18-4 run right now for the Wildcats. Hoiberg driving, kicking, another pass to Frager for 3, in and out. And we'll get a foul on Northwestern as Hoiberg was battling. 5:55 to go and just 12 points for Nebraska's offense. Well, coming up, Hoops doubleheader rolls as the Nittany Lions battle the Ducks. All coming up next, Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Tough pass there by Hoiberg. Mass came away with it. Trying to get something going offensively. Frager for 3. That's a good start.
2 possessions in a row right there. Sam Hoiberg starts with him. He understands they're switching, so he's not waiting. Just full speed ahead, turn the corner. Forces help from Northwestern. End up with a Frager 3.
Can they get a stop on this end? Hasn't been very easy for Nebraska's defense.
Heads up switch right there by Sanford on the pin down.
Singleton from the elbow, short. Take that all day long if you're Nebraska.
A couple times Trey Singleton's played in ISO right there. He's got to understand, if you don't have anything, you don't have to shoot it, don't have to attack. Get that ball moving. You're big enough. You can go set a screen, get to the next action.
Inside to Mast on Martinelli. Nice pass to Hoiberg.
Great find. We saw Nebraska work on that and shoot around. They knew they were going to double mask. That time, perfectly timed cut, miscommunication from Northwestern.
Martinelli off the back of the iron. Jacobson comes away with it. Another empty possession for Northwestern.
Get it where you want. That's a 90% shot normally from Martinelli.
Frager fires away from three again. Mass with an offensive rebound and one.
Rink Mass, you're going to switch. He's going to weigh on you. No, not really a switch there, but Martinelli gets position on him, puts it back. And then here's Sam Hoiberg down here. We saw this in shoot around, Jeff. They knew there was going to be a W. You see Page pointing right there. Cheravino helps up. And Sam Hoiberg, ultimate processor, perfect timing, gets the easy layup, and here comes Nebraska.
Just like that, down 8 to even within the span of about a minute. Into the corner, Singleton for three. That's short, shoots just 17% from distance.
Jake West right there with the ball screen. You got to understand what they're doing. You can't shy away from the point of attack. You have to force the help.
Mast puts it on the deck. Out to Frager, another three. In and out, tapped out. Singleton comes the other way for the Wildcats. Singleton on the move, a foul. It's going the other way. Offensive foul on Singleton, and he comes up a bit hobbled. Wildcats even with Nebraska.
Cale Jacobson, tough as they come, standing in the way. Nebraska coming on.
Basketball on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Venmo. Score more with Venmo. And sponsored by Jersey Mike's, a sub above. Valentine's Day in Lincoln. Not a love fest right now in terms of turnovers, but certainly this year has been a love fest for Fred Hoiberg and the Cornhuskers. 21 wins already. He is maxed out at 23 a couple of years ago. 3 straight 20-plus win seasons. School record is 26, and that is in sight.
That is outstanding. Great progression. Can you imagine if he would have had Rink Mask and Bryce Williams at the same time? They might have eclipsed that last year, but ton of talent here now. Ton of discipline as well. Him and Nate Lenzer. Nate Lenzer defensively has them together, and Fred Hoiberg offensively.
Another slip there on that side of the floor. I'm starting to think about the end of that Purdue game. And we're going to get a little cleanup on this part of the floor. So because of the issues in the game against Purdue, where Northwestern, where Purdue was huddled up in the slip from Jamarcus Lawrence, they added an extra mop on both sides of the floor. So that's good.
That's good. You hear the fans go crazy for the ref stopping the game for the mop. They're like, where was that 2, 3, 4 days ago?
Time winding down after the deflection. Hoiberg trying to find some space. Blocked by Martinelli. Got it back. A throw and to no avail by Hoiberg, and a shot clock violation for Nebraska. 10th turnover for the Cornhuskers. They average just over 9 a game.
On pace to break all kind of records, I guess, today. But again, heads up by Martinelli right there. Nebraska's so good at sealing off the big in that situation. Martinelli comes over and helps. Takes away that layup from Hoiberg.
Down low to Page. Kicks it out. Clayton from the corner knocks it down. And they will count it. An opportunity for a 4-point play.
Arrington Page has 2 points.
So the foul is away from the ball.
It's away from the ball on the pass. And again, this Cale Jacobs just comes and takes him out.
So no opportunity for a 4-point play, just possession arrow going to Northwestern. They counted the bucket. Clayton got Jacobson in the air, and Clayton with a 5-point stretch all by himself.
And again, it's Arrington Page, only 2 assists, but he made those plays back-to-back, and that's what makes him such a talent. Talks about keeping it in the middle of the floor. He's got it on the side. Doesn't phase him because of the size and the skill set to see everything and pass.
Sanford, tough shot. Mass keeps it alive for a fresh 20. Frager for 3. Got it. Frager with his second 3 of the game.
Yeah. Nebraska during this run was 9-1 on the glass, including 5 offensive rebounds. That's a 6 over the last 5 minutes. Talked about them being able to rebound the basketball and how important it was to them. That's been the catalyst for their comeback here.
Martinelli's still looking for his first points of the game. He's 0 for 6 from the floor. Page. Extra pass. Clayton goes baseline. Martinelli coming away with it. Martinelli with some English. First points for Martinelli.
That was by far the toughest shot Nick Martinelli's taken all day. And that's what makes him so great. So crafty around the rim. He's going to get back to that left hand. Not much you can do there if you're ranked Mass.
Mass skip past to Hoiberg. Hoiberg mismatch speed-wise. Hoiberg nice with the left hand.
Oh, finish right there. Shows how good Page is to close out to a guard. Cuts him off once. Hoiberg does a great job using that rim, going to the other side, protecting from the shot blockers.
Hoiberg with 8. Mismatch from Martinelli. Martinelli's jumper short.
1 minute, 11
minute to go.
Past couple games, Nick Martinelli settled for those shots.
Sanford has gone quiet from the floor. It's going to stay with Nebraska. Coming up at the half, Dave Revson, Mike DeCourcy, Earl Watson. Standing by in Chicago. Halftime show presented by State Farm.
Again, you go back to that Martinelli jumper against Michigan so many times, way more size, but so many times he settled for face-up jumpers. You can only think just, again, the amount of load he's put on his body starting to weigh on him a little bit.
Mismatch here with Mast. Mass spinning and knocked away by Clayton. Sanford 3. Got it.
Rick Mass turning water into wine right there. Something bad. Keeps his wits about him.
Big West calls a timeout. 33 seconds to go in this first half. 1-point lead for Nebraska. Well, March 10th through the 15th. 2026 TIAA Big Ten Men's Basketball Tournament returns to the United Center in Chicago. Tickets are on sale now. Head to big10.org/MBBT to secure your seats today. Standings, the top 8, the first 4 get a triple bye, so they wouldn't play until Friday. Wisconsin, Michigan State, UCLA, and Iowa in that second tier. There's still a lot of games left to be played and a lot of movement within that top 8, Jordan.
Yeah, again, you're gonna have it's gonna be fun in Chicago right there, but obviously a battle. You want to get those. But you know what? In hindsight, I actually think you don't want to buy. You know, you see the college football playoff, and obviously Indiana the only team to win that bye round. But when you sit there and guys get a rhythm, it is hard to win that many games in that many days. But there's something to be said for being able to play, have those juices flowing.
Don't you want at least one bye?
Yeah, you want one.
Okay, right.
Okay, I mean,
right.
well, you know, if you got none, then I don't, you know, it's gonna be a tough one. A triple, though? Oh.
Some teams are going to be showing up on Tuesday, and the other teams won't get there until, what, I don't know, Thursday?
Like a triple cheeseburger or a double cheeseburger? Triple seems excessive.
Depends on how hungry you are.
Oh.
Teams are hungry. And we're going to get a whistle away from the basketball. I think they're going to get masked underneath. Excuse me, Sanford gets the foul.
Back in the Huskers, number 9,
Uchtengel will check back in for Sanford. He's picked up his first. They had fouls to give. Martinelli's got it. Shot clock is off. And Northwestern could play for the final shot. West driving, kicking. Singleton goes baseline. His floater short. And they turned the lights off. We wouldn't have known if it went or not because it wouldn't have counted.
Somebody would have known.
We turned off the lights. Let's pay our bills. All right, Nebraska with a 1-point lead as we go to halftime. Martinelli with just 2 points in that first half. A little clunky, but nonetheless, got a good one here in Lincoln. State Farm halftime show is coming your way next from Chicago. One-point lead for number 7 Nebraska as we start the second half in Lincoln. Nick Martinelli for Northwestern, just 2 points in that first half. He went 1 for 8 from the floor. Nebraska really did a nice job putting the clamps on him defensively. Welcome back and happy Valentine's Day with Jordan Taylor, Jeff Levering with you in Lincoln. And we talked about it at the outset of this ball game. Rebounding was going to be critical for Nebraska. They finished 14-1 in the advantage over the last 8 minutes.
Yeah, after getting down 20-13, turned around, finished that half 15-7 on the heels of, as you mentioned, the 14-1. It was offensive. 7 of those were offensive, getting second chance points. Started to win that physicality battle. And when you get offensive rebounds, of course, the great equalizer, other than the three-point line, to the turnover problems that they're having.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, too. The turnovers for Nebraska, 10 turnovers, the most forced by Northwestern all season long. This is a team in Nebraska that only has 9+ turnovers per game, 8th best in the country. So Northwestern ratcheting up the defense. Where's this one going to go in the second half? We'll find out over the next 20 minutes.
Northwestern can make some shots. They're manufacturing decent looks as well. Again, just not a lot of shooting on this team, but you see the growth from this young Chris Collins group.
West, nice move. West, his jumper. A little strong. Mass tries to keep it alive, and it's Buchtengel ends up in the front row to save it.
Slips on a fan over there getting up as well. A good hustle from Burke. Great job keeping the ball out of the middle of the floor, forcing the tough jumper.
Some stretches there in that first half for Nebraska. Their offense was really clicking. Big time mismatch down there with Mast. Trying to find some space. Hoiberg had it knocked away. Look at Sam Hoiberg keeping it alive, but a shot clock violation. Again, bodies flying all over the place. Turnover number 11 for Nebraska.
And again, that one's frustrating if you're Coach Hoiberg, because they worked, again, exactly on that situation in shoot-around this morning. They got the mismatch on the pin down with Mass, had Jake West on him. A little bit different than we saw in shoot-around. It was Jamarcus Lawrence in the dive position, but Mass just missed him, didn't get it to him on time, end up with a turnover.
Reed for 3. That's good. Jaden Reed picked up 2 fouls early in the ball game, but now he's got 7 points to lead the Northwestern scoring attack.
He's made 9 out of his last 13, excuse me, 9 out of his last 11. He's been the best shot maker on this team the last few games.
And a foul away from the basketball. Well, tale of 2 halves for both of these teams. Nebraska 3rd best in the conference at +6.4 in terms of scoring. Northwestern towards the bottom, -4.1. That came into big time play against Michigan last time out.
Yeah, Northwestern did all they could.
Sanford just got lost. Northwestern a little confused on the out of bounds play. Easiest 2 points that Sanford's had all night.
Yeah, and that's what you got to avoid. Price Sanford 5 of 13 now. They're forcing him into tough shots, but those are the ones. He's a confident guy that gets him going. And that's what got him against Michigan too. Just a couple easy baskets, offensive rebounds. They do not have the room for error.
And now they've got Hoiberg on Martinelli. Reed with some shake and bake there. Reed leans in. Tough shot, no good. Mast another rebound.
Didn't finish, but that was great patience by Jaden Reed. Nebraska does such a good job at stunning, helping, showing bodies, hands. Reed could have turned that over easily. Ended up with a decent look at it.
Mast with 7 rebounds, just 3 points. Ends up on the ground. And Martinelli took it away from him. Martinelli running the floor. Nice catch and the dunk. Martinelli doubles his scoring output with that flush.
Your ring Mass right there. Just take the jump ball. It was your possession. You get it back. He tries to get rid of it. Live ball turnover. Northwestern get out in transition.
Defense leading to offense. It's off of Mass' foot. Another turnover for Nebraska.
See it right there. There's 3 Northwestern bodies. Rink Mash just hangs on to that ball. Nebraska gets it back. Instead, got XL bully Nick Martinelli full steam ahead. And similar to Price Sanford, he gets a layup. Martinelli has struggled today and over the last 4, now 15 of his last 60. You cannot let him get going. One of the best scorers in the country. But hats off to Jake West on the other end, fighting defensively on these switches.
Chervino just inside the free throw line, got the roll. It's a 4-point lead for Northwestern. This is how Nebraska started the game with turnovers on their first few possessions. 3 of 4 to start the second half.
Chervino showing his offensive prowess here. Knocked down a 3 earlier. That time just gets to about 13 feet and elevates, uses athleticism, soft touch.
Hoiberg into the teeth of the defense, leans in, no good. Mass trying to keep it alive. It'll stay with Nebraska. Shot clock should be reset to 20.
That went off of. They're going to switch it around.
They're going to switch it up.
Nebraska,
yeah, so Northwestern basketball. Put that shot clock at 30.
See Chris Collins. Yeah, Chris Collins was down the line, looking behind the bench, ready to challenge if they didn't get that one right. But that was a fantastic job by Jaden Reed, fighting around the seal and cutting off Sam Hoiberg, making that layup a tough one.
Martinelli. Chervino's jumper is short, was altered by Sanford.
It's such a different look from the baseline when you're getting that mid-range, no backboard to play with. And that's where, again, Nebraska wants you at.
Lawrence had a quiet first half. Like much of the big boys, the Huskers. Sanford, 3. Yes.
Jeff, you could hear the entire Northwestern bench, as soon as Price Sanford caught that ball, get up, get up. You give him an inch of space, he can knock it down. Chris Collins throws his arms up in the air, especially Chervino. You got the athleticism to make him put it on the deck.
4 threes now for Sanford. 1-point ball game. West, step back 3. Too strong, Mass runs it down. Mass with 9 boards. Lawrence, full head of steam. Lawrence hangs and hits. Nebraska's got the lead.
Lawrence wanted a foul right there. Official looks back at him like, I don't know what you want. You got the bucket. Tough finish.
Offensive foul. Tyler Kropp called for the foul. It's a turnover. Nebraska's got a 1-point lead early going in the second half. Tuesday, Huskers head to Iowa City for a showdown with the Hawkeyes. Action tips off at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. First of 2 meetings between Nebraska and Iowa down the stretch. How about today's game leaders? They're brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Both Jaden Reed and Angelo Chervino with 7 points. Price Sanford with 16. The starts of both halves, Sanford has been outstanding. You can try and get him to be more consistent down the stretch. Final 15 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to put shots up, and if you're Northwestern, continue to do what you're doing. But Nebraska, they have to be a little more opportunistic, I think, in transition. Right, the Northwestern, is doing a fantastic job loading up for the most part, putting hands on guys, being connected in gaps, and not falling for some of Nebraska's misdirection that they're so good at. Nebraska has to find some space for Price Sanford. Could be done through the post and Rink Mass as well.
Lawrence leading into the teeth of the defense and threw it away. Turnover number 14 for Nebraska.
And that set right there was exactly designed for Price Sanford. It's a stagger away, and they expect the low man to be hugged in. Angelo Chervino was him. They run Lawrence over the top, but Chervino, Johnny on the spot, stays connected, blows up that play.
Oh, Reed, nice shake and bake. Couldn't hit the shot. Sanford with the rebound. First meeting between these two teams, Nebraska had just 5 turnovers. Second time around, a little tougher for Nebraska to find their rhythm offensively. Houston Joe down low, threw it away.
Rick Mass had Jaden Reed on him and elected to chase the screen and got switched to Sheravino. He's got to go the other way, just dive in the post, and you got the 5'11" Reed guarding.
Houston Joe bumps Martinelli. And here's your turnovers for Nebraska and Northwestern. Those are the two fewest turnovers per game in the league. Nebraska just at 9.1, coming in 8th best in the country. And they have turned it over a grand total of 15 times today.
24 total between the two of them. Early in the morning, though, man. Look,
noon tip.
Right, trying to get your wits about you.
Martinelli, he's got 4 points in the second half.
Who else? Aronson Page delivering that pass. He gets the assist that time. I will die on this hill. We got to get hockey assists into the game because he's got a couple of those, too.
Sheravino doing work on Mass. Finally able to get some space. Mass draws a crowd. And he's out of bounds. Turnover number 16. But the help defense down in the paint from Northwestern has been excellent this afternoon.
Yeah, again, that's what Coach Hoiberg wanted. They were looking for these high-low switches, but Nick Martinelli does a great job coming out of that weak side corner. Leaves Braden Frager, who's not the greatest. He can knock down shots, but leaves him, goes to the double. Northwestern continuing to execute, be harassers on defense.
They're staying alive, and then some. Nice pass. Sheravino hangs and hits. Sheravino with an opportunity for a three-point play.
Northwestern right there. Go with the little stack action, or Spain as we call it in the biz. Jaden Reed, instead of throwing it back, turns the corner, which Nebraska does not allow to happen. And what happens when you turn that corner, the low man has to tag Page. Sheravino, athlete, cutting out of that corner. Best thing they did was probably foul, because Sheravino was probably about to dunk that through the floor.
Mast and Lawrence head to the bench. Jacobson on the floor. Frager on the floor for Nebraska. Trying to inject some life into this offense. Houston Joe, nice pass. Sanford driving and one.
Really good action right there from Nebraska. They start with that away screen that's hard to guard. Northwestern has the first action, then you go into the pinch, little split action, and you got to chase Sanford over the top right there. When you do, it opens up the lane. The help doesn't come on time. Great delivery from Burke.
18 for Sanford so far. Give him 19. Inching closer and closer to that 20-point threshold. He's been there 10 times and now looking for a stop on defense.
Well, offensively, expect Coach Hoiberg go right back to that action. Did that a couple times. Minnesota, Indiana, when it's working, go back to the well.
Screen comes for West. Martinelli to Page. Page to West. One more pass. Nice drive by Reed. Got shut down. Sheravino back out to Reed for three. Page keeps it alive at a fresh 20. Page fouled, and he'll shoot two at the line. Boy, the passing just whipping it around the floor for Northwestern.
Listen, we have a bunch of great coaches in this league. These two are some of the best, and you see the growth in this Northwestern team. We're going to see the end right there. The offensive glass was opened up for Page because of the ball movement, the body movement. Maybe a little bit of a cross match. Biggest player on the floor, no Rink Mass, but we are seeing, Jeff, this Wildcat team grow right before our eyes.
Page is 66% free throw shooter. That was just their third attempt of the game from the line. One out of two for Page. 1 point lead for Northwestern. Frager, nice pass to Jacobson for the layup.
Jordan Clayton. Chris Collins a little incensed right there, but that's not bad defense. That's just a little zigged when he zagged. Unfortunate circumstance there for Northwestern.
pass into Martinelli, stripped away by Hoiberg.
What a play by Sam Hoiberg guarding the ball screen.
Always in the right place at the right time. Sanford's floater short. 3-on-2 in transition. Reed had it knocked away. There's Hoiberg again. And then a foul. I think they'll get Page trying to intercept that pass, and they will. Takes us to a timeout. Nebraska's got a 1-point lead.
See deflections everywhere. And after deflections, bodies flying. Northwestern hanging on by a thread.
Time to play with a plan. It's brought to you by TIAA.
Yeah, Northwestern doing exactly that. We talked about putting the ball in the middle of the floor, attacking there, and winning the rebound battle. It's been passing, it's been cutting, it's been Jaden Reed getting in his bag, turning corners, dropping draws, and dropping off his teammates with dimes. But Northwestern finding ways to get it done around the rim. Not a ton of rim protection for Nebraska.
Leading in the points in the paint department by 4, where it has been the biggest difference. Points off of turnovers. Northwestern has capitalized with 23 points off the 16 turnovers from Nebraska. Again, they average just over 9 a game. Sanford, nice pass to Buchtenjel. Buchtenjel missed the layup, but taps it in.
Really good set. ATO after timeout. Get a little handoff. They know Northwestern switching. Again, when you switch, hard to get to the body.
Buchtenjel taps it and ends up in the Northwestern bench. Everybody's all right. We're all friends here.
Okay, good hustle. Jordan Clayton got to do a better job of getting an angle for the pass, but that is a big man coming full speed. Good sportsmanship right there.
They kept the chair. It was a good move there. 5 to shoot. Chervino for 3. Short. Buchtenjel taps. Here goes Hoiberg. Sanford for 3. Steal. Frager. Hoiberg, no, and he'll go to the line. Nebraska coming alive.
You send guys to the offensive glass because you need it. Both Martinelli and Page. Reed goes in, doesn't get it. And then you get it in transition. 41%. That is a layup for Bryce Sanford. Slow to close out. You got to run him off there as best you can. But again, that's what we talked about. Nebraska's got to be a little bit more aggressive in transition. Open up those opportunities for Bryce Sanford.
See that run right now for Nebraska. Largest lead of the game is now 7. And back and forth, we've had 6 different lead changes. 1 out of 2 from Hoiberg at the line.
Northwestern done a good job of keeping this crowd out of it. Need a bucket here. This place is ready to explode.
And a foul on Frager. Trying to deny Page down on the post.
And that's as simple as just a pin down. Nebraska switches it with 2 big fellas, and Page seals the smaller Frager. Good design. Good foul by Frager in that situation.
Martinelli goes to work in the post, and a foul.
They go right back to the same play right there. Just switch roles. Great job by Coach Collins in the Northwestern squad finding the mismatch. Sanford's not big enough. Fans don't like it, but tough angle to see right there. Bryce Sanford just kind of stuck his pelvis out, if you will, moved into Martinelli's legs.
Martinelli makes the first. Not a ton of contact here.
Not a ton, but again, you see it right, that little right leg kind of just stuck out right there. Martinelli probably did a good job at selling it a little bit too, but
he makes them both from the free throw line. Martinelli now into the top 10 in all-time scoring at Northwestern. He was 15 points from 8th all by himself. Martinelli now with 8 in the game. Jacobson dials up a 3, knocks it down.
Great read by Cale Jacobson. They're switching. Doesn't come off the screen. Just quick little slip or flare off.
Out of bounds. It'll stay with Northwestern. Will they take another look at that? Nebraska has already challenged one. They will not challenge this one. Won their previous challenge to retain another.
Listen, I was with Cale Jacobson right there. I was ready to challenge that one for him, but you see the second look clearly goes off of him right there. Really close though. Like clearly a little prematurely made.
That's all right. It's not worth it. Maybe keep it in your pocket for later. Plus the timeout. Clayton had it rejected by Buchtengel. 8 on the shot clock for the Wildcats.
There you go again. Ton of bodies right there. Jordan Clayton got to understand you are not getting a free run to the rim with this Nebraska team. Jordan Reed's turned it over in the past couple possessions right there. You got to look to spray out.
Martinelli. That is his dream zone right there.
And he has struggled, but that finally sees a jumper go down.
10 now for Martinelli to lead the Wildcats scoring attack. Double figures yet again. Jacobson 3. Got another.
And late in this game, when legs start to wear, is when Nebraska is hard to guard.
Timeout Northwestern. Largest lead of the game for Nebraska. Basketball on the Big Ten Network brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance. Largest lead of the game for the Huskers. Cale Jacobson knocking down a couple of threes from the same spot.
Yeah, this is when, again, Nebraska gets so difficult to guard because of their action. Earlier in the game, you're locked in, you're fresh. You can play physical with them, but they just keep going and going and going. All the switching Northwestern does turns into point switches instead of body contact switches. And then you get the most unlikely in this situation, Cale Jacobson, who can make shots. Everybody on this Nebraska team can punish you.
10 straight games with at least 9 or more three-point field goals made. Does Northwestern have an answer? Not a team that shoots a ton of threes. Going to need some stops on the defensive end. Page for 3. Off the iron, Martinelli trying to keep it alive. It's out of bounds off Northwestern.
Nebraska going on this run with Rink Mass on the bench. Doing a great job, for the most part, keeping Northwestern off the glass. Executing offensively, it's hard to guard, small ball.
Hoiberg lost it. 17th turnover, 1 away from matching their season high of 18 against New Mexico.
Sam Hoiberg, eyes lit up. They had exactly what they wanted. Little slide to the corner. Frager was going to be wide open. We've seen this Nebraska team play to the level of their competition, if you will, in the non-conference with Winthrop and other teams.
Nice pass inside to Page. Makes it a 7-point game. Ayrton Page doing a nice job in this ball game, trying to take over in the middle with no mast. Nebraska playing quote-unquote small with Buchtengel the big. There's Sanford for 3. Another 3 from Sanford is 6th.
That's what happens when you don't stay attached. He does a great job coming off the handoff and just running the space. Doesn't need a ton of it. Great screen by Burke.
Martinelli inside, rejected by Buchtengel. Up ahead, Frager running the floor. And a foul, and Frager went down hard. He may have hit his head on the floor after he tried the dunk, went down And Frager is in a ton of pain underneath the basketball hoop. Oof.
Competitive play at the rim. See here again, they get out in transition right here, and he sees Page. They're sizing each other up. Let's try and rock that rim. He's going to get up off the deck right here, competing at the rim. He'll go to the line when we come back.
When I hit a couple threes, it's probably coming up the next possession.
Sanford's three will splash home again.
I feel like it's going to go in every time at least. So the basket looks like an ocean.
6 threes so far for Sanford. You can learn more about Price on an all-new episode of The Journey Tuesday immediately after Nebraska, Iowa on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. He's got 25. It's 11th game with 20 or more this year. He's been letting it fly. We talked about it coming out of the second half. He's started both halves extremely strong. He's been consistent in half number 2.
Yeah, well, you heard him in that episode of The Journey when the basket looks like an ocean. He thinks all of them are going in. That's happening right now. 3 for 3 carrying this Nebraska offense today. But again, it's late in the game. He moves so much. He's in incredible shape where it's impossible to stay connected to his body the entire game. It got going in transition too. Impossible to find him there. And like we said, he gets a little daylight. Night-night.
And good to see Frager go out to the line and take his free throws. Made them both after going down very, very hard after the foul by Page.
Frager's such a tough kid, great athlete. Love it when two good athletes go compete at the rim like that. Glad he's okay.
Page spinning left hand, tough shot, no good. Joe cleans up the rebound. Northwestern, if they want to come back in this one, they got to do it quickly. Under 7 minutes to go. And it's been this group for Nebraska that has led them to this big run offensively, with no Lawrence and no Mast on the floor. Hoiberg open for 3. Got it.
As long as they got that guy on the floor, they tend to be all right. Doesn't need to score, but don't look up. He's got 12, 7, and 4 quietly.
And a steal. Hoiberg missed the layup. It's about the only thing he's done wrong today. He's smiling on his way back up the other side of the floor.
Well, you might have thought he was Braden Frager. I thought he was going to go try and dunk that for a second, but listening to a little Smokey Robinson before the game, just goes up there and misses that one. Can't be too mad. He does everything so well for this team.
Again, we talked about the struggles for Northwestern in second halves this year. Nebraska has been outstanding at plus 14 today in the second half. And Joe comes away with that errant pass from West. Around the screen to Frager in the corner. Joe went over the top. He says, yep, I got him.
Great box out there by Page. Great delivery from Hoiberg. See, comes off that ball screen and just jails Clayton for a little bit. Forces Page to get out of the way, and Frager just couldn't knock it down. But another positive play from Sam Hoiberg.
Free throws coming the rest of the way for Northwestern. Nebraska in a really good spot for the NCAA tournament. Number 7 in the country, 21-3 overall in the year. They have lost 3 of the last 4, but those 3 losses coming to top 10 teams. Their net ranking at 12, and they've won 10 games in quad 1 and quad 2 games. Right now, Mike DeCourcy's got him as a 3 seed.
And Mike DeCourcy knows all. He's a wizard with the projections, but again, they'll have more chances to climb that ladder with the Big Ten tournament at Iowa. Plenty of opportunities, West Coast games, plenty of opportunities for them to continue to push for a really good spot.
West Coast swing at USC and at UCLA before hosting Iowa the last weekend of the season. Of course, the Big Ten tournament, March 10th through the 15th. Stay with Nebraska after West poked it away with 8 on the shot clock. Reed will check in for Clayton.
We haven't seen a lot of that from Northwestern. What they were doing so well in that first half was switching into the passing lanes. Got away from that. West trying to reignite it a little bit if they want to start this comeback.
Hoiberg splits the defense. 14 for Hoiberg.
So heady, such a great processor, understanding they're switching, fake the handoff, keep it himself, and let me try this layup thing again, go righty that time. Ain't gonna make the same mistake twice.
Martinelli goes baseline. Martinelli had it taken away by Hoiberg, but a foul. Nebraska taking off here in this second half offensively.
Nobody better in the conference than Fred Hoiberg at adjusting on the fly. You know, these switches maybe looked a little different than what they had practiced for in the first half, but they've done a great job at switching up actions, using a little pinch post actions, flares, fake handoffs.
Martinelli 1 out of 2 at the free throw line, so Singleton check in for Page. The only player in double figures for Northwestern is Martinelli with 11. Tap by Martinelli. Jacobson corrals. Still plenty of time and under 5 minutes to go in the game. Sanford 3. It may have been tipped by Martinelli. Buchendale trying to keep it alive. He was out of bounds. It'll be Northwestern basketball.
Coach Hoiberg knew it was tipped, throws his arms in the air, but that's what Buchendale does, is hustle, so can't fault him for that. Didn't see the tip, obviously, right there. Good hustle.
Pass, another touch pass out to West, got his man in the air, and West short on the shot. Buchendale taps to himself for another rebound.
Sam Hoiberg came across the court to run West off the three-point line, force a tougher jumper, and in the mid-range. Ball not popping like it was in the first half for Northwestern.
Jacobson on the drive, went through that seal by Buchendale, couldn't make the shot, and there's Hoiberg again, comes away, Sanford for the layup.
Who else other than Sam Hoiberg making a play? Sanford got to go rock the rim.
West short. Nebraska doubling up Northwestern in the rebound department. You talked about it at the beginning of the game. Needed to win the glass as there's an injured Cornhusker. That's Buchendale on the other side of the floor. Timeout here in Nebraska. Appreciate you, Dave. Net rankings in terms of Big Ten teams. 11 teams in the top 50 in the net. Northwestern right now is 75, and that is such a big deal for them to stay 75 or below in terms of getting to that top spot, right? In terms of the rest of the conference and what that means for quad 1, quad 2 wins.
Yeah, that's big, especially for you got to go to Evanston or they're going to your place. That could be a big boost for a lot of teams. As you look at their schedule, Purdue's got them. Minnesota, a team that could be trying to sneak into the Crown or one of those tournaments, of course. Indiana as well. So
you look at that remaining schedule, winning those home games, especially against Maryland and Oregon, become paramount for them to stay 75 or higher. And right now, Nebraska putting the clamps on Northwestern. It's been a great second half. Jacobson dribbling around. He's got Sheravino on his back. Jacobson underneath. What a second half for Cale.
Hey, all the shooting, all the shot making means you got to stay attached. Only rink mass down there. Cale Jacobson knows it takes his time. Wheels and deals and finally gets to what he wants.
10 for Jacobson. 4th time this year he's been in double figures. 19-point lead for Nebraska. West into the corner and threw it away. Northwestern having their struggles offensively. Saw that graphic there. No buckets in the last 8+ minutes.
This Nebraska defense ratcheted up, but Northwestern just running out of gas. A couple games in a row here.
Talk about putting together a full 40 minutes. When you got a young team like Northwestern, that can be a problem at times. Sanford gets downhill. Sanford fall away, and a foul on the backside by Singleton.
Going back to the young team, and then these guys are playing well now, playing better, I should say. And Nick Martinelli's really the guy that you need to carry him in these situations down the stretch. But man, he's done so much this year, continues to struggle from the floor. It's just so tough on a guy like that. So many different bodies.
4 of 12 today from the floor for Martinelli, who vaulted himself into the top 10 in Northwestern scoring all time. He's 4 away from 8th all time. Sanford knocks a couple through. He's got 29. Second best scoring day of the year for Sanford. At 32, a season high against Illinois. Sheravino puts it on the deck, driving, and the blocking foul on Mast. Mast just claps his hand, says, all right. 2:33 to go here in Lincoln.
Sheravino getting downhill, doing what he does best. Nice little sidestep. Understands he's got the foot speed over Mast, gets to that hip. Heads up play, crafty by Sheravino.
1-1 at the line for Sheravino. And misses the front end. Nebraska from distance in the second half, 6 of 8. Knocking down your shots, you're going to win a lot of games, and Nebraska has done that more often than not. 11 threes again.
The game can be simple sometimes.
Hoiberg. And a tie up, and it will stay with Nebraska. A moment there in that possession where Rick Mast was a little frustrated, to say the least, at Tyler Kropp. Felt like he got a shot to the face. Still grabbing at his forehead ever so slightly.
Tyler Kropp. Well, scraped him. Kropp made sure he was all right. Went and checked on him.
Gill comes in for Northwestern. 2:04 to go. There's just 2 seconds on the shot clock. Sanford catch and shoot. Short. Nobody better than that guy in a catch and shoot situation.
Great job by Clayton understanding that, closing down the space. Still playing hard late in this game.
Inside to Kropp. Couldn't get the roll, and Mast pulls down the rebound. Mast now with 10 boards. Just 3 points from Rink Mast today. 2 points from Jamarcus Lawrence. And a timeout on the floor. As Jared Garcia will check in for Mast.
Northwestern's gotten away from, even though Kropp just missed that little floater, they gotten away from that short roll here in the second half, which was pretty successful for them at the start of this game.
Nebraska starting to unload their bench. Just over a minute and a half to go. Blue on the floor too for the Huskers. Jacobson, open look for 3. And it will be Northwestern basketball. Jacobson looking for a career high, which is 11 at the moment. He's got 10.
Shows how well coached they are. Subs come in, don't skip a beat with execution. A couple of these guys, though, they talked about can still be contributors this season. Jared Garcia, Kendall Blue, both guys who have given Jared Garcia particularly good minutes throughout the year.
Jacobson, a nice rake. Creates a turnover as we come up on a minute to play in Lincoln. Game 2 of our doubleheader coming up. Penn State and Oregon out in Eugene. Guy Haberman, Don McLean standing by. And a great day in the Big Ten Conference on the Big Ten Network. Huge second half here for Nebraska to pull away against Northwestern. Out of bounds was Jared Garcia.
And that's what Jared Garcia does. Attacks the rim so well. We saw earlier in the year against Illinois, had some really good minutes in that win in Champaign. Again, this coaching staff knows these are important minutes for him. If they can get him going as that kind of third big for this team, that would open up a lot of things for them.
Gill had a block by Garcia. That came into effect big time against Purdue as West missed the shot. Crop tries to keep it alive. Crop up and under.
Crop getting on that glass. Sends Kendall Blue to the deck.
Final seconds bleeding down here for Nebraska as they will pick up win number 22 on the season. They've got 5 to go. We've got Iowa twice, Penn State, Maryland, and the West Coast trip to SC and UCLA. But a big win for Nebraska, 68-49 over Northwestern. Sanford led the way with 29, including 6 threes. And Hoiberg finished with 14 points and 7 rebounds and 5 assists. Nebraska 68-49, your final score. Got a lot more coming up on the Big Ten Network, including Penn State and Oregon out in Eugene. Big Ten Live basketball game break is going to be on the other side. Dave Rebson, Mike DeCourcy, and Earl Watson will have it for you. For our entire crew, including the birthday girl, Caitlin Dawson. Nebraska comes away with a win. For Jordan Taylor, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long from Lincoln.